What Darwin actually uncovered, Darwin did not discover evolution. It's been around since the ancient Greeks, in fact, before Christ. But what he discovered was a mechanism for evolution called natural selection. And there's nothing wrong with natural selection. Creationists do not object to natural selection. It's 100% fact. And I just want to take you quickly through what natural selection is.
Okay.
We observe in nature that most species produce more offspring than can survive. We happen to have a rabbit at home, by the way, so we know that rabbits reproduce very quickly. But we're not overrun with rabbits, are we?
No.
And the reason that we're not is because they have to compete for resources out there. They have to compete for mating partners. They've got to compete for food, shelter, all kinds of things like that. And obviously the ones that are the most fittest to survive, to pass on their genes long enough to reproduce, are the ones that survive. So, and then the other ones die off. And so the ones that are fit enough to survive are the ones that pass on their genes. So we're not necessarily talking about being fit enough to live to old age. We're just talking about being fit enough to survive long enough to pass on your genes.
Okay.
Now, that once again, that is 100% fact. Creationists have no problem with natural selection. Now, Charles Darwin said in Origin of the Species, "Thus from the war of nature, from famine and death, the most exalted objects which we are capable of conceiving, namely the production of the higher animals, directly follows." So in evolution, death is how you get ahead. Whereas what the Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 15:26 is that the last enemy to be destroyed is death.
Yes.
Sin brought death into the world.
Yes, death is always positioned as an enemy in Scripture.
Exactly, and
Absolutely.
and yet what we find with evolution, once again, is that if you believe in evolution, death brought man into the world, whereas the Bible tells us that man brought death into the world through his sin.